Happy Vlogmas Day 2. These are 10 terms in drag racing that you should know.
The first term is hard tire.
Hard tires is generally can be a DOT radial tire with little tread. It's generally anything over 200 tread wear.
So my car tire, your regular truck tire?
Yes, those would technically be hard tire, but you could go to an even softer compound.
Number 2, shootout. For example, 60 car shootout.
That means there's 60 cars in the field. It generally means the first time you lose, there's no loser's bracket that doubles back, first loss, and you're out.
Number 3 is bump, as in bump in.
Okay, so on a turbo car, it takes time to spool up, and there's usually a bump button. So what you do is you hit it, and it just kind of throws the car forward a little bit so you can get up into the staging lanes.
Number 4 is buyback.
What that means is if you lose, it's generally in the first round of a race, you can pay money to get back in and go to the second round.
Number 5 is deep stage.
Deep staging is when you roll past the pre-stage lights. It allows you to leave a little bit later, but you have a better chance of red lighting.
Number 6, guaranteed payouts.
Guaranteed payouts is pretty much what it sounds. In theory, you should get, if you win, that money. It doesn't always work that way because a lot of times promoters will say, oh, it's a $10,000 guaranteed payout, but that's only if there's a 60 or 100 car field. They don't necessarily have the money to pay out the winner at that amount.
Number 7 is test and tune.
Generally, test and tune is like it says. You can pull up and you can stage and you test and you can tune your car in between rounds. Generally, depending on where you go and how long it is, you might only get three passes, even if you're being quick between runs.
Number 8, terms for the lights or tree.
Generally, the tree is sometimes called the Christmas tree, a starting tree, a lollipop, or several other names. What it is at the very top, you have pre-staged. Next set of lights down is staged. And then you have the countdown lights, you have the start light or the green light, and then you have the red light, which is one you do not want to see.
Number 9, what are grudge wars?
Generally, grudge wars are pretty much like picking a fight at the bar. It's you go and run your mouth as much as you can, and generally you'll get a race. There's some of those races get to be very, very large, insanely large money.
Number 10, some of the tracks are IHRA or NHRA sanctioned. What does that mean? Okay,
the tracks are partnered with NHRA, which is International Hot Rod Association, or NHRA, which is National Hot Rod Association. They're a sanctioning body that set rules, so if you go from one track to another, the rules are the same for the classes.
Does that include safety equipment and whatnot, or is it just what the class is defined as?
No, it's safety equipment. It's safety equipment and the whole 9 yards, because generally any safety stuff, someone's at some point has died for that safety equipment, or for that safety, because they don't want to make the rules harder or more obtrusive or harder than they need to be. So usually someone has to end up dying because of the fact that otherwise they go, oh, well, if this guy was wearing a 6-point harness instead of a shoulder belt, he wouldn't have died. And that has to happen several times, a lot of times. And that's 10 racing terms that you should know. Like, subscribe, carry on, get out in the garage and do something.